What if the surge in snake dreams people are experiencing in 2025 was predicted by a Swiss psychologist nearly a century ago? And that these dreams reveal something profound about humanity's collective disconnection from its most basic human instincts in the age of AI. Carl Jung wrote that snake dreams usually occur when the conscious mind is deviating from its instinctual basis. But here's what Jung couldn't have predicted. We're living through the most dramatic deviation from our instinctual basis in human history. Stay until the end and discover Jung's surprising solution to our modern serpent epidemic. Carl Jung spent decades analyzing snake dreams, and his core insight was revolutionary. In The Archetypes and the Collective Unconscious, he stated, more especially, the threat to one's inmost self from dragons and serpents points to the danger of the newly acquired consciousness being swallowed up again by the instinctive psyche, the unconscious. Translation: snake dreams are the psyche's emergency alarm system. Jung discovered that snakes represent what he called our cold-blooded vertebrate nature, the ancient brain centers that govern our most fundamental survival instincts. As he put it, the snake is a cold-blooded vertebrate, and with it, the psychic rapport that can be established with practically all warm-blooded animals comes to an end. But here's the fascinating part. Jung identified snakes as having dual nature. They represent both our deepest fears and our greatest healing potential. He wrote, just as the serpent stands for the power that heals as well as corrupts. Jung described the serpent as representing a peculiar autonomous mind which can possess one completely, a spirit of revelation which gives us intuitions. Sound familiar? We've created artificial serpents, AI systems that think autonomously, make decisions without our conscious input, and increasingly control our lives. But unlike Jung's healing serpent, these digital snakes operate without human instinct or wisdom. Jung observed, snake dreams always indicate a discrepancy between the attitude of the conscious mind and instinct, the snake being a personification of the threatening aspect of that conflict. In 2025, this conflict has reached crisis levels. We're more conscious than ever, processing infinite information, making data-driven decisions, optimizing everything. But we've lost touch with what Jung called our earthly essence, the gut feelings, emotional intelligence, and human connections that kept our species alive for millennia. The unconscious is fighting back with serpents. Jung connected snake symbolism to his concept of the shadow, the parts of ourselves we reject or ignore. He wrote, taking it in its deepest sense, the shadow is the invisible saurian tail that man still drags behind him. Carefully amputated, it becomes the healing serpent of the mysteries. Our collective shadow in 2025, the human qualities we're systematically eliminating. Intuition over algorithms, presence over productivity, connection over efficiency, wisdom over data. Tech leaders predict AI agents joining the workforce throughout 2025. But Jung would ask, what happens to the human agents? Not just their jobs, but their sense of purpose, their instinctual confidence, their trust in their own judgment. Jung documented his own serpent encounters in the Red Book, writing, "The serpent is the earthly essence of man, of which he is not conscious. Its character changes according to peoples and lands, since it is the mystery that flows to him from the nourishing Earth Mother." In 2025, we've severed our connection to this nourishing Earth Mother, replacing it with cloud computing and digital feeds. But here's Jung's surprising insight. The serpent isn't just a threat, it's a teacher. He wrote, "The unconscious insinuates itself in the form of a snake if the conscious mind is afraid of the compensating tendency of the unconscious." Snake dreams aren't punishing people, they're compensating for what they've lost. Jung discovered through his clinical work that when patients stopped fearing their serpent dreams and started listening to them, transformation occurred. The threatening snake became what he called the healing serpent of the mysteries. In his personal journal, Jung wrote, "Why did I behave as if that serpent were my soul? Only, it seems, because my soul was a serpent." Serpents are wise, and I wanted my serpent soul to communicate her wisdom to me. So, what's Jung's solution to the 2025 serpent epidemic? Stop trying to eliminate the snake. Integrate it. Jung taught that whenever the snake symbolism appears in dreams, it is always representative of the lower motor centers of the brain and of the spinal cord. And our fear of snakes denotes that we are not fully in tune with our instinctive lower centers. They still contain a threat to us. The path forward isn't more AI, more optimization, more digital solutions. It's remembering what makes humans human. Trust gut feelings alongside Google searches. Value presence over productivity. Choose human connection over algorithmic efficiency. Honor both rational mind and instinctual wisdom. Jung's final insight. Nothing makes this effect clearer than the serpent. It signifies everything dangerous and everything bad, everything nocturnal and uncanny, which adheres to logos as well as to eros, so long as they can work as the dark and unrecognized principles of the unconscious spirit. The serpent in people's dreams isn't their enemy. It's their forgotten wisdom trying to come home. In a world racing toward artificial intelligence, Jung reminds humanity that its greatest strength isn't in becoming more like machines, but in becoming more courageously, instinctually human. The question isn't whether people will dream of serpents in 2025. It's whether they'll be wise enough to listen to what these dreams are trying to tell them.